Hey, what up anyone who's watching? Welcome to View with Ice, the channel for anime and TV show related content and recommendations. There are a lot of incredible shows in this world to be watched, and today on View with Ice, I'll be recommending you 10 shows that you have to watch before you die. Like, subscribe, and push the notification bell icon to be notified every time I drop a new video. Also leave a comment of your favorite shows or shows you feel deserves to be on this list. Now with that out the way, let's go take a look at 10 shows you must watch before you die. I'm going to start this list off with the Cinemax action drama Banshee. I also featured Banshee in my top 10 most underrated shows volume 1 video, so be sure to check that one out. After 15 years of serving time for stealing $15 million in diamonds for a Ukrainian mob boss, a man is released from prison. His former lover and accomplice is the daughter of this mob boss. They had decided to keep the loot for themselves and run away, but he was caught and she got away, and now that the man is released from prison, he is almost immediately a target for the mob boss. With his release, he's in search of his long lost love, and with his search he finds himself in the town of Banshee. After an altercation in a bar, the new incoming sheriff gets killed, and the man looks at this as an opportunity and takes over the deceased sheriff's identity. If you like action, fighting, and badass characters, I have no doubt that you will almost instantly take a liking to this show. If you like Anthony Starr as Homelander, I am for damn sure you won't be disappointed with him as the badass sheriff of Banshee, Lucas Hood. I have watched a lot of crazy sitcoms in my life, but there is no other sitcom or comedy I've ever seen that can match the madness of this show. It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia is a show that basically follows the lives of the worst people that you will ever meet in life. It just looks at a group of friends that are referred to as the gang and their misadventures in the city of Philadelphia. It's Always Sunny is one of the funniest and most entertaining shows ever. Every time people talk about sitcoms, this isn't the first, second, or even third show to pop up in their heads, but it is definitely deserving enough to be thrown into the conversation. If you like absolute madness, chaos, and stupidity, It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia will definitely turn into one of your favorite shows, so be sure to put this on your watch list. Never did I think that I would grow to love this show so much. Out of all the Prime originals, the Marvellous Mrs Maisel is my favorite show. Our story here starts in the late 1950s with Miriam Maisel, who is a young upper-class Jewish American woman whose entire life is changed after her husband leaves her for another woman. After that confrontation, Midge goes drunk on stage at the Gaslight where her husband occasionally did stand-up comedy, and she starts an unrehearsed performance, and the crowd hesitantly but surely falls in love with her, and that is where the legend of the Marvellous Mrs Maisel starts. From the setting, the dialogue, the music, and the performances, the Marvellous Mrs Maisel is an absolute magnificent show, and it is definitely worthy to be on anyone's watch list. There are currently 3 seasons available, but the long-awaited 4th season is on its way, scheduled to be released on February the 18th, 2022. In the category of psychological thrillers, Dexter is all elite. Dexter follows the life of Dexter Morgan. By day, Dexter works as a forensic blood spatter analyst for the Miami Metro Police Department, and by night, he is a meticulous serial killer with a twist. Dexter only takes the lives of people who are guilty. People who have escaped the law. Guilty people who have gone free because of the flawed justice system, and he introduces them to his own form of justice. Dexter is an instantly gripping show. Right off the bat, the show will grab your attention and won't let go. The only bad thing I can say about Dexter is the fact that this man refuses to wear chapstick or lip balm, but that doesn't affect the story, so I'll let it slide. I have not yet finished Dexter, but I have watched 7 seasons, and I can tell you with all honesty that this is one of the best crime thrillers I have ever watched in my life. I think it's safe to say that The Walking Dead is the greatest zombie series of all time, and if it's not, please tell me in the comment section of another zombie series that is better, because I would actually love to experience something like this again. The Walking Dead has an obvious and simplistic approach, but it is one of the most incredible shows to watch. It's a zombie apocalypse story, and it's all about the survival and preservation of the human race. The show centers around Rick Grimes, a sheriff deputy after he wakes up from a coma and finds himself in the midst of a zombie apocalypse. Rick becomes the leader of a group of survivors, and they push on to fight the zombies they call walkers, but the undead are not the only dangerous things in the world that they must face. Before I really started to watch The Walking Dead, I brushed it off because I felt the show looked bland and boring, but I started to binge watch it last year because I always try to give a show 3 chances, and I can with all honesty tell you, this show is far from bland. The show does suffer from its longevity in the later stages of the series, but the first 8 seasons of the show was so incredible to me. It is without a doubt one of the best binge sessions I have ever had in my entire life. So, if you ever thought about watching it, please do so. You might be greatly surprised, not just by the action, the thrill, the adventure, but also the performances of the cast. The Walking Dead is an entire package and is truly deserving of its popularity. Shameless is one of the most disastrous, unstable, funny, dysfunctional, crazy and loving shows that I have ever watched in my entire life. Shameless follows the lives of a notoriously dysfunctional family with a peak of dysfunction being the head of the family, Frank Gallagher. Frank is a professional alcoholic. He spends most of his time drinking or is out searching for other thrills. Meanwhile, his 6 children have to fend for themselves. Fiona is the oldest and acts as the head of the household, taking care of her younger siblings while also struggling to get her own life together. As I said, Shameless is one of the funniest shows that I've watched in my entire life. I've recommended it to a lot of people and every single person that I've recommended it to loved it. Even the people who don't watch TV shows as religiously as me. Ladies and gentlemen, I would like to welcome you to the show that ruined my life. True Detective is an anthology crime drama with 3 seasons. Each season tells us a different story with different characters in a different setting, but I am not here to talk about all 3. I'm only here to talk about season 1. Don't get me wrong, season 2 and 3 are not that bad, and you are of course free to watch them as season 1 is godly. Season 1 focuses on detectives Rustin Cole and Martin Hart, who is portrayed by Matthew McConaughey and Woody Harrelson, and follows their investigation of a ritualistic murder of a prostitute in the year 1995. Quite a simplistic premise for something so amazing. I don't want to go more into detail about it because I went into the show with little to no information about it and it totally blew me away. I have since watched it 4 more times, and each time I've watched it I'm still amazed by the acting, the connecting storyline, the direction and just the entire atmosphere that True Detective season 1 provides. If you are even a slight fan of crime dramas, I consider this one of my highest recommendations of the genre that I can give you. And if you are a patient watcher, this show might just turn into one of the most amazing things you have ever watched in your life, so I urge you to please try out True Detective season 1. For all of my life, I've always highly focused on American-based television and I have never really cared for British TV shows or movies, except for Harry Potter of course. But during my journey in the world of TV shows, the one show that completely changed my mind was Sherlock. Sherlock is based on the iconic fictional detective Sherlock Holmes. The show is set in a modern day London and follows Sherlock solving mysteries with the help of his friend John Watson. Sherlock is full of twists and will always manage to surprise you. The only reason why I don't consider Sherlock the best crime drama because The Wire and True Detective season 1 ruined crime dramas for me, but as an entire series I would definitely say that Sherlock is better than True Detective. I believe that there is still a lot of people who share my old beliefs of American-based television being superior, but trust me, the moment you finish the first episode of Sherlock, your mind will be immediately changed, and if it's not, you are just a stubborn person and have no respect for greatness. Breaking Bad is considered the greatest show of all time in some circles. I do not agree that it is the best or the greatest, but I can for damn sure say with the highest level of confidence that without a doubt, it is one of the greatest shows ever made. Breaking Bad follows the story of Walter White, an overqualified chemistry teacher who has been diagnosed with stage 3 lung cancer. Fearing for his family's financial future, Walter teams up with his former student Jesse Pinkman and starts to cook meth. Initially starting out as a small operation, it quickly turned into something so much more as Walter with his chemistry expertise is able to cook the purest meth on the streets, and this not only attracts the attention of local gangs but also his brother-in-law who is a DEA agent. I describe Breaking Bad as a payoff show. What I mean by payoff show is the show takes its time. Not every episode is an epic of drugs, gunfire, violence and action. It is a show that builds up to something, and when it finally gets to that point, it is nothing short of amazing. At times, you will feel that the show is slow, but I promise you, the moment things start to kick up, it is just so satisfying and you will be grateful that you sat along for the ride. Ranking these shows felt wrong because you are really interested in amazing TV shows, you wouldn't care about the ranking, but I would just like to rank this show as number 1 above all other shows ever. The Wire starts off by following a task force in their investigation of Avon Barksdale, a drug kingpin in the city of Baltimore, Maryland. This investigation is fueled after a witness changes their testimony against Barksdale, and Detective James McNulty suspects that the witness has been intimidated by the accused. McNulty talks to the judge and also shines some light on the fact that Barksdale drug and other criminal activities are not being investigated. A task force is formed and they use wiretaps to strengthen their case against Barksdale. Each season focuses on something different while still using the same set of characters. I wish I had the ability and writing expertise to explain to you how incredible this show really is. I'm pretty sure this show could easily bore the average watcher, but if you are someone who generally loves TV shows, I believe you would really appreciate this genius.